Mother Nature does not care about us. She only wants to destroy us. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is that time of the month again, and yes, I do quite literally mean that time of the month. It is time for some period horror stories, but in honor of back to school season, we're doing your period horror stories at school, because if there is any place I would absolutely hate to get my period, it is definitely school, because kids are the absolute worst. So that being said, go grab some tea, grab some snacks, subscribe if you haven't, and let's get right into this. I started my first period in 5th grade and I didn't know what it was. I ran back into the class and yelled, "I'm dying!" And I explained to the teacher how I was bleeding. She very loudly said, "Oh yeah, that's a period." I still think about how I told my entire class I had my first period. Yeah, but like, you're still actually dying. Not literally, but like on the inside, my uterus is dying a bit, so you know you weren't completely wrong about that. 9 out of 10 times, everyone's first experience with their period was like, "Oh my god, I am dying." The end is near for me, simply just because no one took the time out of their lives to just tell us, by the way, when you start bleeding out of your kuka, just know that you're not actually dying, it's just a period. Period education, y'all. Last year, almost every single time I was cramping, it happened during math class. Apparently, just like me, my uterus hates math, except it can actually throw a tantrum during class. How nice for you, uterus. I also wish I could throw a tantrum during math. When I tell you I hate math, I would literally text my mom during math and be like, "I'm having cramps, could you pick me up?" And my mom would do it most of the time. So shout out to my mom for being a real one, even though like half the time I definitely lied about cramps. I just didn't like math. But now this has me thinking, do you have like a time during the day when you get cramps? I know it sounds crazy, but like when I was in school, usually if I actually did get cramps in school, they were always after lunch when there was maybe like 2 hours left in the school day. Was it the lunch food that was giving me cramps though? But outside of school, when I'm on my period, I either get cramps like right in the morning or before going to bed, or weirdly enough, they'll wake me up at like 3 a.m. and I'm just like, is there a demon in my uterus? But I'm just curious, if you have a time you get cramps, let me know. One time there was no trash can in the bathroom stall, so I tried flushing my pad and toilet paper down the toilet and it clogged the toilet. Yeah, so I don't know who needs to hear this. I guess this person does. Whatever you do, don't ever flush any period products down the toilet, because if it does clog, how you gonna explain that? My biggest fear would be accidentally doing this and then the school holding an assembly and being like, "Let's not do what Sharon did." So now everyone knows I was dumb enough to stick stuff in the toilet and now I flooded the school restrooms with my period blood. It's okay, lesson learned. It happens to the best of us. Those little metal tins you see in the bathroom stalls, it's for period products. And if there are none, wrap it up, take it to the nearest trash can, or clog the toilet if you hate your school and just walk away before anyone catches you. Please don't. We were doing self-portraits and I bled all over my chair in art class, and some guy thought it was red paint and took his brush and tried to take the paint off my pants. I slapped him. Honestly, good for you, because what happened to keeping your hands to yourself? I would simply slap him for trying to touch me anyways. Period or not. If I actually had paint spilled on me, that's my body. That's my paint for me to take care of. No, keep slapping guys that are trying to touch you without your consent. Thank you. And maybe I wanted that paint. Maybe I wanted a little bit of my blood in my artwork. It is a self-portrait. I am on my period. I was in class and went to the bathroom to change my tampon. As I went to pull it out, the string came right off. I tried to get it out, but it was in too deep. I went back to class looking horrified. I asked my best friend to come to the bathroom with me to help get it out, but my male teacher wouldn't allow it because he thought we were sharing candy. So if they were sharing candy, what's so bad about that, teach? It's not like it's hard drugs. It's quite literally candy, which actually, it's not even quite literally candy because there's no candy involved. He's just imagining and creating this candy scenario. Like, what? No, because that's when I straight up would have gone to my teacher, no shame, and be like, "Hey, listen, buddy, it's not candy. I got a tampon stuck inside of me, so unless you want to send me to the ER to get this pulled out of me, let my home sis come along and let her help me dig inside my coochie and pull out this tampon that you just so happen to think is a lollipop." The way that teacher would never question you ever going to the bathroom again, sometimes you just gotta say it. There was a used pad in the hallway and one of the boys picked it up. As nasty and gross as that sounds, good for him. Because guys are usually just like, periods, la la la, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to hear it. So the fact that this man was like, you know what, I'm going to be a responsible Samaritan and I'm going to pick up this dirty pad and throw it away, good for him. At least that's what I hope he did with it. I don't hope he did any other weird thing with the dirty pad. So I'm just going to tell myself he tossed it in the trash can. Aside from that, who is leaving used pads in the hallways? You literally just ripping a new one in the middle of the school hallway? I'm just gonna assume there wasn't a trash can in the bathroom. They brought it with them. They dropped it on the floor because I don't even want to think about someone changing their pad in the school hallway. I'm good. Again, I repeat, this is why schools scare me. I first started my period. I went to school with no period products because I didn't know if it was my period. I still don't know if I leaked or not on my school skirt, but when I got home, my underwear was covered in blood. Listen, even if I'm just spotting, even if it's just discharge, if there is anything coming out of my coochie, I will always bring stuff with me because you never know. The tide could change at any time and suddenly Mother Nature is just flowing and I'm soaked in blood. Always have period products with you. Keep them in your locker, your bag, your car, your purse. I don't know. Just know that she can catch you off guard and she will catch you off guard. That's just what she does. Back in 8th grade, me and some other girl in my class went to the restroom. I go to a public roast school and when I walked in, some girl had wiped her blood all over the bathroom stall walls. I then walked out of the toilet and the other girl in my class stood and stared at the wall. She thought I put the blood there. She then snitched on me and I got suspended for 3 days. Nah, because I would have flipped the script on her for being a snitch. I would have been like, she's lying. It was literally her. I watched her put the blood on the bathroom stall. She came out and her fingers were covered in period blood. Look at my fingers. They're not covered in blood, so how was it me? The way I would literally gaslight her so hard. How are you just gonna assume it was me, girl? No. Every woman for themselves. Absolutely, I don't think so. If I'm getting suspended, so is your ass. You're going down with me. But real talk, people that do this, why? I have never sat in a bathroom stall, looked at the blood coming out of my coochie and been like, I'm gonna do some little finger paint art. What possesses you to think that? It's weird. I was in the middle of my presentation when the whole class started laughing except my best friend. I was standing in the puddle of my period blood and had a huge stain on my light blue jean pants. When my teacher saw this, she took me to the bathroom and helped me clean up and gave me a pad. My best friend gave me a jacket to put around my waist. We went back to class and gave the girls a lecture and said it was a natural part of life while cleaning up the blood. By the way, it was an all-girl school. The way I would fight every single girl at that school for laughing at a period. If you also bleed out of your cookie and you're laughing at someone for bleeding out of their cookie, you are atrocious. You're a horrible human being and I hope that you will start bleeding out of your cookie in front of a whole class, in front of the entire nation on nationwide television. Because grow up. Periods quite literally are a natural part of life. I get kind of thinking, oh, it's funny, haha, she had an accident while giving a presentation, whatever. But like laughing at the fact that it is a period, dude, don't act like you don't do this either, you know? And it's not like you can actually control a period either, so it just makes the girls that were laughing look even worse. So yeah, I really truly hope next time in class they all get their period somehow at the same time and they can't do anything about it. It's only fair. It's only karma. I started my period in math class and didn't notice till I stood up. I didn't know what to do and then I saw my crush coming, so my dumb ass made it look like I threw up blood. I took my finger, dipped it in my chair, then rubbed it all over my lips/mouth area. Must have been good acting because my crush screamed for our teacher who called 911 and then I had to explain to the paramedics I was okay and it was just my period. I have now transferred schools. Good, because that was gonna be my suggestion. What do you think would be worse? Letting your crush find out you had a period leak, or letting your crush find out you took your own period blood and smeared it all over your mouth to make it look like you puked period blood? I don't know, but it's kind of sounding like letting him think I had a period leak is the better response here versus him thinking I'm drinking my own period blood. You do you, sis. Which you already did. You know, it's done, but I'm just saying there was definitely a better route to take. Yeah, periods are natural. Boys are allowed and boys should know about periods. So yeah, next time you have a leak in front of your crush, don't put it around your mouth. Normal school day when I felt something weird down there, so I decided to ignore it. Bad decision. I was by my locker and then a few drops of blood just dripped down, forming a little pool. I was putting scissors away in my bag and this bully shouted, "Look, Lily's murdered someone," and everyone just laughed. It was my first period too. That's like the last thing someone should say in school. Oh, murdered someone, especially in America. That's like saying the B word at the airport. I cannot, no, dude. This is all sorts of messed up. I hope your bully gets their period in front of someone. But see, my thing is, my petty ass, I would take it too far. Let me catch my bully around some blood and I would simply like set up this entire plot and scheme of them actually murdering a fake person and then you end up in juvie. Shouldn't have bullied me. I got my first period in 7th grade during human sciences. We were coincidentally having the birds and bees talk. When it was time for a bathroom break, I stood up and my female teacher said in front of everybody, well, too bad I'm not an English teacher because this would be a great example of irony because my name got her period while we were talking about the reproductive system. I know this may have been embarrassing, but it was crucial for the plot. This was perfect timing, even destiny or fate, if you may. 5 out of 5 stars. Great presentation. I'm a visual learner, you know, so this right here, teacher of the year. But real talk though, if you were genuinely embarrassed about this, you could always play it off like, oh, I'm just a paid actor. This is not real blood. This is ketchup. Got you guys. Now you know what a period would look like. And then quickly and silently just rush to the bathroom and actually change into a cleaner pad and fix my period leak. My jealous best friend took a picture of me while I bled through and put it on my boyfriend's locker with a note saying, "You're really dating that?" And then slipped a note inside saying, "You can do better. Meet me after school." He did, and now they are together. Who's gonna tell him? Who is gonna tell him that if you are dating a person that has a vajayjay, they are going to bleed from that vajayjay? Something tells me that this dummy boyfriend, because he is a dummy boyfriend, has no idea how girls work. That's gonna be fun for him to discover when his current girlfriend that he left his other girlfriend for also bleeds. And that's the reason why he left the first girlfriend. Trash took itself out. One day I was on my period and I decided to wear white pants, and once I got home I noticed I bled through and no one told me. When I tell you it was so noticeable, not even the all-female teachers said anything. I'm very curious. Would you tell someone if they had a period stain? This is kind of like the bystander effect. It's like, well, I'm not gonna do it because I'm sure someone else will do it, or I'm sure someone else has done it, because I would genuinely feel bad if I went up to someone and I was like, "You have a period stain," and then be like, "Yeah, I got it, I know," and then me being like, "Damn girl, I'm sorry, like I was trying to let you know." So I wonder how many people saw that period stain and thought that, and they were like, "Oh, I'm sure she already knows." Yeah, so would you tell someone? I'd have to, because I would like someone to tell me if I had a period stain. When in 6th grade, I walked past this locker every day and it reeked so bad. Apparently everyone knew about this, but only wants to start talking about it now. After school, I picked the lock and found used tampons, menstrual cups, and pads all sitting in the locker. I left an anonymous tip. They had to replace half of the lockers because they had been in there for 2 years and created black mold. Isn't black mold like super toxic and it can actually like you? You're telling me used and dirty period products could do that? Man, we are so powerful. Come on, I'm creating black mold with my blood. Pfft, maybe we are witches. That's insane though. Why would anyone ever do that? What compels, what possesses someone to stick all these dirty period products in a locker? In a menstrual cup? Those were reusable. You should have left it there in that locker. This last one says, I was a sophomore in high school in Spanish class and I felt the feeling of something down there. I was just thinking, oh, it was just discharge. But hun, I left a whole pool of blood in that chair. The next boy coming into class after the bell sat on it and thought he got his period. Yes, he has a willy.
Bruh.
A sophomore in high school? And he really thought he got a period? Did y'all not have like sex ed in like the 6th grade where they explained puberty to you and the changes your body were gonna go through? Yeah, spoiler alert, you got a willy? No blood coming out of your willy. And if there is blood coming out of your willy, please go to the hospital. You need to be in the emergency room. I have no hope. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give this a thumbs up. If I didn't share your embarrassing period horror story that happened at school today, but you would like to share it with us, please do so in the comments below. If you also would like to binge more of this series, I have an entire playlist on my channel. I upload period horror stories once a month, kind of like a period, so I got you with all that tea, sis. I also got you with a bunch of period help. If you want period hacks for school, if you want to learn how to put in a tampon, if you want to see me trying period period products. Definitely go check that out. So if you haven't been subscribed yet, you should probably do that. Now, shout out of the day goes to Maria on Instagram. Thank you so much. If you like to be shout out of the day, just follow your girl on Instagram and stay active. That's also where we get bonus content. And on TikTok, so hit me up on there too. Anyways, spill your tea, tell me your period horror stories, go binge some more, and I will see you guys next time with some more period horror stories. Love you. Bye.